Today we're going to take a look at using a source that's available to you on the internet that may help you find cases that you need to be looking over, perhaps in your tax research, cases that you may not otherwise have access to because they might not be in your tax service. The situation we're looking at here is a website run by Google called Google Scholar. You go to scholar.google.com, and what you initially see is what you see here on the screen. A choice here of a search, and you could search for articles and include patents, and it would be the type of academic articles you'd expect on a site called Scholar. But if you come here and check the Legal Documents button, what you get instead now is the ability to search through court cases and other legal documents that may be very useful in your research for a tax issue. How useful? Well, let's look for what's likely the most popular and most often cited case in taxes. That is the case of George M. Cohen. If we put just Cohen in here and search for it, you're going to find that George moves to the top of our list. George happens to be one of the most popular cited cases for Mr. Cohen that exists. And if you check it, Cohen versus Commissioner, you'll see that you get the case here. The name or whatever search terms you put in are highlighted in yellow. You can turn off the highlighting by coming over here to the X button and turning it on or off. You can also scroll through the document, taking a look and reading the court case. You can print the case. You notice that you have the full citation of the case up here in the upper left corner. But it's not just cases like this that you can look for. You can also look for what would be considered to be non-tax cases. Let's go back to the Scholar site. And again, clicking on Legal Documents, I can search for a case that has been discussed in a number of courses related to CPA's liability, the case of the Hatted Motor Group. And if we look for the Hatted Motor Group case and click here, we will find that yes, we can click on and read the case involving the Hatted Motor Group. And that First Circuit Court of Appeals case is also listed here, again with all of the text. But it's not just federal courts. What we're allowed to do here is take a look in any court that we wish. Now I'm recording this, I'm sitting in the state of Nebraska. Google, by the way, checks where you are geographically and makes some assumptions about what you might be interested in. But I can click here and select courts, and let's say the court I'm interested in is a case involving an Arizona court case, because it does turn out for tax purposes there is a Court of Appeals case in Arizona that is very important for individuals that have lost their homes through foreclosure, short sales, and the like, in the state of Arizona. And if you had a client who had that situation, you might discover a reference to an important case interpreting Arizona's anti-deficiency law that dealt with Helvetica Servicing versus Pasquan. Well, your tax service probably doesn't have that case because technically it doesn't deal with taxes directly. It deals with the question of the anti-deficiency statute. But what you could look for here is by putting in here Helvetica and Pasquan. When you click the search, you're going to find that you get the case, Helvetica Servicing versus Pasquan. Now you will note it's listed here twice. It's because the Arizona Court of Appeals posted it first unofficially and then it became published. And Google actually has both options in here. We'll go for the published version with the citation. And you'll see that you will get the whole text of the case. Very useful. So anytime that you're looking for a case that goes slightly outside what your tax service provides, in this case, Google Scholar turns out to be a very useful website for you to be using. Certainly it's an important tool for all tax practitioners to have available for use and to remember to make use of when appropriate.